Hey guys, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Well, as you mentioned, Anderson had a breakout year filling in as the Cowboys' secondary scorer behind Cade Cunningham. His scoring ability was put on full display against West Virginia when both Cunningham and Isaac Likely did not play, leaving Anderson as the focal point of the offense. He went off that game, torching the Mountaineers with a career-high 31 points while shooting 79% from the field. For the season as a whole, he averaged 12.2 points per game while shooting 48% from the field. While he was a reliable scoring option, his defense and high motor were what really stood out to me. He averaged a steal and a half a game this season and showcased his speed and athleticism on various fast break situations. He has a drive and passion for the game that can't be taught, and head coach Mike Boynton had nothing but praise for his effort and leadership throughout the season.
I think it's a great sign for the future of Oklahoma State basketball that we got a guy who's gotten better. I think he's the most improved player in the country. I think he's the most improved player in our league by far.
In terms of NBA player comparisons, there's a few players that came to mind. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Anderson is the second coming of these players or near their level just yet, but certain aspects of their games remind me of the OSU star. The first is Pelicans guard Eric Bledsoe. He plays with an intensity and drive much like Anderson and shows no fear when attacking the rim and finishing inside. He's a quick defender who has averaged about 1.5 steals per game in his career, and like Anderson has a good jumper but is somewhat streaky when it comes to his shot. Neither are the best playmakers, but have proven to be a great asset to their teams either off the bench or in a starting role. Here's a look comparing Bledsoe's career averages and Anderson's 2021 season. As you can see, there is a lot of similarities in their production for their respective teams with similar points per game, steals, turnovers, and field goal percentage. Another player I can see comparing to Anderson is 76ers guard Matisse Thybulle, mostly because of their defense. Nicknamed Mathief and the Disruptor, he is a quick and athletic defender who gets steals and converts on the other end with quick cutting action and high IQ. He has averaged 1.5 steals per game in a short professional career, and like Anderson, shows promise attacking the rim and is a danger with his speed and decent size. He has a relatively small sample size in the NBA in only his second season, but I can see Anderson filling in a similar two-way role on whatever team he may end up on. Well, all indications right now are that he is not expected to be drafted into the NBA this year, and that he declared without an agent so he can go through the whole draft and combine process in order to prepare for the 2022 draft. Scouts will be able to tell Anderson what he needs to improve upon in order to improve his draft stock later on. Although I fully expect him to be undrafted this year, I see him as a potential early second rounder in 2022, perhaps even getting into the first round. If he comes back to OSU next season, he slides into that Cade Cunningham role as the team's primary scorer and ball handler, giving him an opportunity to even further boost his stock. Really, any team in need of defense and depth at the guard position will have him on their radar, but specifically if he goes into the first round, I could see him going to the Nets or the Nuggets late, or possibly the Thunder or the Knicks earlier in the second. All these teams either need defensive help at the guard, such as a star-studded Nets team offensively, but who rank 25th in the league for defense, or going to coaches like Mike Malone or Tom Thibodeau, who really value hard-nosed, ball-hound defenders. But keep an eye on Anderson if he stays with OSU. He has a lot he wants to prove and in turn should have a big impact on the team this next season.